If someone asked you right now, who are you? What would you say? Maybe you'd start with your name, then your job, where you're from, your role in your family, the parent, the eldest, the caretaker, then maybe the deeper layers. The one who was hurt, the one who survived, the anxious one, the strong one, the one who never quite fits in. You've told yourself this story so many times. It feels like fact, like bedrock, like the truest thing about you. But tonight, the last episode of this arc, we ask the question the Buddha considered the most important of all. What if that story isn't you? The Buddha's most radical teaching is called anatta, non-self, and it unsettles people more than any other teaching even today. He didn't say, you don't exist. He said, the thing you call I, the fixed, solid, permanent self, is a construction, a habit, a story the mind tells to make sense of experience. You feel like a noun. The Buddha said you're a verb, not a thing but a process, constantly changing, constantly becoming. The person you were at 15 is not the person lying here tonight. Same name, completely different being. So which one is the real you? There's a famous dialogue in the ancient texts between a monk named Nagasena and King Milinda. The king was sharp and skeptical. He demanded proof. Nagasena pointed to the king's chariot and asked, "Is the chariot the wheels? No. The axle? No. The frame? The reins? The seat? No. None of those things alone is the chariot. But together, arranged in a certain way, we call it a chariot." Nagasena smiled. It's the same with a person. There is no single thing you can point to and say that is the self. There is only an arrangement, a pattern, a flow. The name is just a label for something always in motion. Psychologist Dan McAdams at Northwestern spent decades studying what he calls narrative identity. His finding, we don't discover who we are, we author it. From adolescence onward, the brain constructs an internal story with heroes, villains, turning points, and themes. And we start to believe that story is who we are. I'm the one who was abandoned. I'm a fighter. I'm not good enough. These aren't facts. They're plot lines. McAdams found that people who revise their stories, who reinterpret past events with new meaning, experience measurably better mental health. You are not stuck with the first draft. Neuroscientist Bruce Hood wrote a book called The Self-Illusion. His argument: the brain creates the feeling of a unified self the same way it creates optical illusions, convincingly, automatically, but not accurately. There is no single location in the brain where you live. No control room, no CEO, just billions of neurons firing in patterns and a storyteller stitching it all into something that feels coherent. The Buddha broke the self into 5 parts, the khandhas: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness. He said, examine each one. Is any of them permanently you? Your body changes. Your feelings change. Your perceptions shift. Your thoughts contradict each other daily. Even consciousness flickers on and off every time you sleep. Which part is the real you? None and all. This might sound frightening. If there's no fixed self, what's left? The Buddha's answer: freedom. If you are not your trauma, you can heal beyond it. If you are not your failure, you can begin again. If you are not your label, no one can define you. Anatta is not emptiness. It's openness, the space to become anything, because you were never locked into being one thing. You have spent years defending a version of yourself that was only ever a rough draft. Tonight, what if you set the pen down? Here's the quiet practice. Think about the story you tell yourself most often. The one sentence that begins with "I am" and ends with something heavy. I am not enough. I am broken. I am the responsible one. I am alone. Whatever yours is, you know it well. Now, try something strange. Instead of "I am," say, "There is a story that says," there is a story that says, "I'm not enough." Feel the difference. The story is still there, but you are no longer inside it. You are the one watching it. That distance, that tiny shift, is what the Buddha meant by liberation. We've walked 10 nights together through this arc. We looked at guilt and found permission to let go. We looked at people-pleasing and found the right to stand still. We looked at chasing happiness and found contentment. We looked at exhaustion and found rest. And tonight we looked at identity itself and found that the lightest version of you is the one holding no story at all. You are not who you were yesterday. You are not who you'll be tomorrow. You are this breath, this silence, this awareness, and that is more than enough. Sleep well. Good night.